Hello, everyone, and welcome to another daily tarot reading from Maiden Circle. I am Morgana Braid, High Priestess of Maiden Circle Covenant Academy, and this is your daily reading for Thursday, July 19th, 2018. I hope you guys are doing well, and if you'd like to learn more about Maiden Circle, go ahead and check out the links in the description, and if you'd like to be notified whenever there is a new daily update, then click the little bell below so that you can get those notifications and subscribe. And as usual, if this reading helps you in any way or gives you any sort of guidance, I would love to hear about it. Obviously, you don't have to tell me, but it would feel really good to hear about it. So let me know in the comments. I'm going to ask for your overall energy. What is our overall energy for today? You have Legacy of Light. Legacy of Light. This card is asking you to look at your own creative gifts and where they may have come from. Like if there are family traditions that are involved in your culture and in your heritage that are very creative. This is telling you to look at that. This is telling you to call on the support of the universe, of your ancestors, of the history of your own bloodline, and the loving and creative support that they are able to provide, and to channel that. And if you've made any sort of, especially, like I like to sometimes think of these weekly readings as building on each other. So looking at what you had yesterday, this is saying that if you made a creative choice, then that is in alignment with who you are. That is in alignment with your spiritual purpose. This is telling you to look at the light of your own essence as what you can offer to the world and what you can create in a healing and loving manner. This is telling you that you have everything that you need for that in spades, and it's time for you to tap into that and look into that. If you have been working on something creative, and if you've been working alone or with others, try to make sure that you're keeping your heart in it, that you're guiding yourself through your heart. Because a lot of the times what happens is we get ourselves stuck on certain projects, and it's a very intellectual pursuit for a lot of things, and even creative activities have that intellectual side. So be aware of how you're channeling this energy today. Let's see what your more personal or aspirational energy is for this day. This is energy, usually with the big card, it's energy that kind of is for everybody. It's all over the world. It's just the energy of the day. And then this card is more of your personal energy, more of what you may have to try to attain by the end of the day, or the energy that is over you, whoever this reading is specifically meant for, over the day. I do like to do these readings with an idea that someone is meant to see them, and whoever that person is, whoever you are, this is more of your personal, intimate kind of daily energy. So you have the Emperor. This is telling you to find more order in your day and in whatever you're doing. And if again we're working off of what yesterday's message was, this furthers that idea of getting your priorities together and getting your life in order. This isn't just order for the sake of being in order or having things organized. This is to create the ideal environment so that you can foster whatever it is that you need to, whatever light is inside of you, whatever creative energies are wanting to get out. You need to create an environment that allows that to happen. Create your life around your passions. and not the other way around. So let's see what your challenge is on the physical level. This is your challenge considering your health, your jobs, any projects you're working on. This could also just be kind of how you're dealing with those problems. What is your challenge? You have the Lovers. It's possible today that you will have to make some sort of choice. And that this choice is, it's almost like a test for you. You're being tested. And because this is on the physical level, it could literally mean there is another person for you to make a choice about or with or towards. It could also mean, if you are working on something with other people, then again, your heart needs to be in it. And since this is in your challenged position, maybe your heart isn't. Maybe you're feeling this, I don't want to say unrequited love, but like an unrequited desire for something or someone. You're feeling this yearning, and it's just not panning out the way you wanted it to, and there's anxiety for you right now about it, and there's possibly even some fear, but I'm getting more of a sense of just anxiety about whether good or bad. There's just anxiety happening, and there is this feeling of wanting to make a choice immediately without having all of the facts, and knowing even that this choice might be an unwise choice, that it won't necessarily bring you the light that you're looking for, that you're kind of caught in this briar of sorts. Another way of looking at this card here is that you are very hopeful about the future, and you're not necessarily looking at the consequences of your choices, and you're making, again, I guess it does go right back to that unwise choice thing, that like you are making choices with this idea of they can be successful, but because they're not necessarily the best choices, there will be consequences, and you're not thinking about the consequences. So let's see how we can overcome this challenge. You have the Hermit, and you have the Eight of Swords. So whatever choice it is that you're feeling kind of stuck in, or that you're trying to make and not really thinking about the consequences, or just whatever unwise decisions that are happening right now, a lot of that is again I'm sensing that it's around anxiety about something, about whether you can move forward on this, about how to create the life that you need to follow that light, to make manifest whatever it is that you need to, that you've needed to these last few weeks. So this is telling you to take some more time to go within and look at what really matters to you, and then try to figure out how you're keeping yourself in this position. I am seeing that this woman is, it seems at first glance, trapped. But if you're able to look closer, those chains are not bound, they're not knotted, they're not hooked on any locks or anything like that. Those swords are simply floating around her, but they are not a bar, they're not bars. They're not holding her in, and if she were to stand up and drop those chains and remove her blindfold, she would see that she could just walk right out. But instead, she's choosing to stay blindfolded for whatever reason, for whatever fears that are holding her back. Maybe it's because she doesn't feel like she knows enough to take these steps. Again, This is telling you to get in touch with your creative side. Yesterday's reading was all about that. Okay, so I do feel like they're building on each other in that way. And the only thing holding you back right now is you. The only thing that's keeping you from breaking your chains and stepping out and making this big taking this big leap of faith is your own fears and your own anxieties. Okay, your heart is distant from what you're doing. It's not in your actions every day, and that's what you need. You need to take some time here to overcome this. You need to take some time to truly learn what matters to you. Figure out what you believe in. What about you that you believe in? And whether or not those beliefs are serving you. Listen to what you're telling yourself every day, and listen to whether or not that actually connects with your heart. Because this is telling you that you really need to get to know yourself a lot more so that you can free yourself from this bondage that you got yourself in. So let's see what's going on inside of you on the emotional, mental, or spiritual level. What is your challenge today? You have the World. So this card is typically a very joyous card. It really means that there's a sense of completion, of accomplishment. But being that this is in your challenge position, it's almost the opposite. You don't feel complete. You feel trapped. You feel trapped within yourself, and maybe this is self-imposed self-containment. If that makes any sense. It's like it's the same as the Eight of Swords kind of right here, because you are holding yourself in this space of safety, in this bubble of I can do everything within this small realm and I'll feel good about it. And there's no breaking out of that. There's no out of the box thinking happening for you right now. And I think that is being in your challenge position, that's a problem. Okay, being that this is telling you to get in touch with your creative side, with your imagination, this and this are incompatible. Locking yourself away and sticking into your small bubble of safety is incompatible. You're afraid that if you step outside, you could get hurt. If you step outside of this bubble, you might have to face things about yourself and about the world around you that you didn't want to face. So let's see how we can overcome this. You have the Two of Wands. And you have the Magician. You have to decide what you want for yourself. And you have to decide the path you want to take. And that means either you can take the easy path, which will not always be pleasant, but it's easy and simple and whatever. Or you can take the path of enlightenment. You can take the path to find your own personal power. Find your own strength. You have all the power inside of you that you need to create light. You have all the power inside of you that you need to create the life that you want to live for yourself. You have to decide what that life is, and you have to decide if it's worth it. And if it is worth it, then you do the work. You take the time and you go through the mundane parts to get to the good parts. You go through the hard parts to get to the good part. And I think with this here, one of the things that you can do is get to know yourself better and get to know what's important to you. Okay, to make that decision and go towards it with all that you have. Let yourself step out of the box. Let yourself stop yourself from being in this bubble, because that's not going to serve you in the long run. That's not going to help you heal or grow or reach your fullest potential. You have a purpose, but are you going to pursue that purpose? That's entirely up to you. So let's see what our energy for the end of this day is. What is the energy for the end of this Thursday? How are we going to close it out? You have the Queen of Pentacles. And the Seven of Swords. So you might still be struggling with making the right choice. You might still be struggling with knowing what to do and trusting your own instincts and trusting your own capabilities. For whatever reason, you're wanting to just stick in this bubble. And you're being pretty stubborn about it. You're not wanting to let yourself imagine what the possibilities are for you. You're not allowing this light that is within you, that has come from eons before you and has chosen to manifest within you. You're not allowing it to come, and you're not allowing it to grow. Part of this is quite possibly because of money. Because you have this stable job that you don't love, but it does pay well. And you're worried that if you leave that job, and that could be the choice that you need to make, you're worried that if you let that go, you'd be in the crap. You'd be in the toilet. I mean, you'd struggle. You're worried about that struggle and about what could happen, months from now, instead of what could happen on the positive, instead of what could grow and become of you allowing yourself to see that light that's within you and creating an environment that allows that. And again, if that's a job that you don't like, then that is not the environment for you. Trust me, I have quit a few jobs almost exclusively because I didn't feel like I could spiritually grow there, because I felt like it was exhausting me to the point that I wasn't able to meditate, to learn, to be creative, to write, to do the things that really speak to me. I was being so drained from those jobs. And I would get up in the morning and go to work, spend my whole day at work, and then come home and pass out, and then just never felt like I had enough energy to produce anything worthwhile to me, that felt good to my soul. And I felt like I was on a rat wheel. That is not for you. That's not for anybody. That's not good for you. And if that's where you are right now, then that light that needs to come out is being stamped down, because you're still kind of worried. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm getting, is that you are not necessarily trying to make the right choice because of your practicality, because you've made the logical choice. And while that is beneficial in its own way, while that may have provided you financial stability, it's quite possible that you have enough resources right now to make a different choice. I am getting, though, at the end of the day, you're still contemplating, the wrong things. You're still contemplating making choices without thinking about their true consequences, which is what we got here. So I'm going to pull just one or two more cards to see if there's any advice for you to kind of try to overcome this today, this end of day energy too. So you have the King of Swords, and you have the Seven of Pentacles. With these cards, this is telling you to really, again, think think logically, yes, but the logic that you're using right now isn't right. It isn't. It's the practicality that was programmed into you. But think more of your spiritual growth. Think more of the life that you want to live 10 years from now and the seeds that you want to plant. The goals that you want to achieve cannot be achieved if you never start. If you never take those first steps. If you keep telling yourself later, I'll do it later, I'll start this work. I'll start my own business in 10 years when I'm ready, when I have everything that I need. I'll open my store when I have everything ready for it. I'll just start doing these things when I'm ready. But you have no specification of when you're ready, and you're not taking the steps every single day to become ready. This is telling you that that's what you need to do. You need to plant your seeds so that you can watch them grow. Listen to your heart, listen to your spirit, and don't think so much about money, about finances. Think more about the life that you see for yourself. The universe supports you, and she will bring you what you need to make that happen, as long as you can find yourself in alignment with your purpose. This is also telling you to look at the seeds you've already planted for your life, look at the things you've already done that have gotten you here, and compare the results with the work that you're putting in. If you're putting in hours and hours and hours and hours of work, and the payoff is very little, and it's stressing you out, and you're like losing hair, and you have no time for a life and to do the things that you love, then that's what I mean by the payout, not necessarily just the money. Are you truly getting back what you're putting in? And if you are not, why not? What can you change on your path to bring you to the place where you are in perfect alignment with the light that's coming for you, that's meant for you from the universe? You also have a couple of sevens here. You have the Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and this is card number 7. So this is absolutely telling you that you need to get your life in order. You need to redefine what's important to you and create a life around that. It might take some sacrifice to make these changes. It might take letting some things go. But these things that you need to cut out of your life, they're not doing you any good anyway. So that's your reading for Thursday, July 19th, 2018. I do hope this reading was useful to you, and if it was, again, let me know. It warms my heart. And I will see you tomorrow. Remember always that I love you. Bye.